Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib from the incredible, most beautiful, blackest city in the country, the city of Detroit. I represent the 12th Congressional District. I'm here because it is appalling to witness the crackdown and violent repression of First Amendment protected speech and assembly on college campuses throughout our country. I know that students' constitutional rights do not end when they set foot on college campuses. I am so proud of the brave students and faculty from all different backgrounds and faiths leading nonviolent civil disobedience in support of saving lives no matter faith, no matter ethnicity, calling for an end to this genocide. Students are putting their bodies on the line to demand that their universities divest from the same weapons manufacturers that are sending the bombs to murder innocent children, families in Gaza. I want you all to think about it for just a minute. Why are our universities invested in weapons and war in the first place? And why are these universities sending militarized police after their students to protect those investments in war? Just think about that for one moment. And this divestment movement did not start with the genocide in Gaza. It is disgusting that the Biden administration and my colleagues in Congress continue to smear them for protesting to save lives. My colleagues are outraged over these protests, but they are silent about the students what the students are actually protesting about. I know that dissent is a fundamental American value. Can you imagine the attacks on dissent in our country? It continues to happen, but imagine that we just wipe it off. I know from the civil rights movement to the Vietnam War to the end of apartheid in South Africa to the movement for Black lives, our country has a long history of students leading nonviolent civil disobedience and demanding change in our country. Students have been on the right side of history time and time again. It is utterly disgraceful that university administrators and government officials are sending, again, militarized police forces to stop students from exercising their First Amendment right. It is sickening that police are entering college campuses across our country with their guns pointing at the students, targeting them with pepper spray, tear gas, rubber bullets, tasers. Think about it. They're literally spraying them with chemicals. This week at the University of Michigan, police violently destroyed the peaceful, most beautiful encampment, interfaith student encampment. They sprayed them with chemicals, brutalized them. Many were hospitalized for exercising their First Amendment right and saying, we are tired of supporting war. I call on these college administrators to exercise restraint, respect the civil liberties of their students, their constitutional rights, and their repressive, violent tactics, and denounce the ongoing, again, brutality of these students. The grace and courage so many of these students across our country have shown in the face of vicious smears and racist attacks is a source to me that there is hope for our future, because they're not backing down, and neither are we. I want to read the following statement from one of our allies. It's been the ARC, Jewish Action. They said, quote, "Protest is essential to our movement work. It must be protected. And we firmly stand against anti-Semitism being used as an excuse to threaten free speech and criticism of university and U.S. policy." They ended by saying, to be clear, criticism of American policy towards Israel is not inherently anti-Semitic. I am so grateful, again, for every one of the incredible union leaders and people here protecting their students. They're here today because they are leaders, and they are speaking truth to power and standing again on the right side of history. I'll end with this because, you know, for me, seeing the American Civil Liberties Union in Michigan and really throughout the country, and making sure that we're remembering that we are in the United States of America. They said, quote, "As you fashion responses to the activism of your students and faculty and staff, it is essential that you do not sacrifice the principles of academic freedom and free speech that are core to the educational mission of your respected institutions." I hope my colleagues understand what is at stake when they have these kinds of hearings right here in Congress, in the People's House. I hope they listen to their constituents. The overwhelming who have said ceasefire now. The overwhelming who have said we're done with endless wars. So again, I thank you all so much, and again for these incredible leaders here and faculty and staff. And I know what you're risking in being here. And I want to thank you. As the only Palestinian American serving in Congress, I know for many of these students, ending the war and manufacturing investments and so much more extends more than just about Palestine. But as a person, again, seeing right now how unbelievably racist people have been towards folks that, and brutal towards folks that are speaking truth to power, I want you to know that I appreciate you trying to save lives. I appreciate you trying to move our country towards wanting to invest in life and invest in programs and projects, invest here at home and thriving, not invest in death and destruction. Thank you. Next, we're going to have Todd Wolfson, president of Rutgers AAUP AFT, associate professor.